Hey folks, it's the Red, and welcome back to Let's Play Luigi's Mansion. We just got done with all the tutorial stuff, so now we're ready to go into the mansion proper. We see this cutscene each time Luigi goes into the mansion, and, well, Egad's lab looks a little sad, doesn't it? Looks more like a tool shed, if you ask me. Recycled animation! But now with creepier music. So, now we're back inside the foyer, and we actually have somebody here crying. Why, it's our good friend Toad. Where did you go, Mario? Wah! Wah! Never saw Toads as such crybabies. Huh? Luigi? Wow! It's Luigi! You finally made it! Oh, joy! Thank goodness. Me? Well, Princess Peach asked me to come here to look for Mario. You know, instead of you, the one who won the mansion. He left when he heard that you'd won a mansion, and he never returned. Then when I arrived here, the mansion was full of ghosts, and I didn't see Mario anywhere, and I kind of freaked out a little, and I didn't know what to do. It's been awful. Please, 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 you have to help me find Mario. If he doesn't get back, you have no idea how upset the princess will be. She'll flip. So we kind of hit Toad in the head and then says, "Yay! Thanks, Luigi! You made my dark and stormy night. My happiness has lit the room as well. I wish I could do something to help you. Wait, I've got it. At least let me do this." And every time you talk to a Toad, they'll offer to save your progress. This is nifty to keep in mind, but we're not going to do that right now. But yeah, wherever you find a Toad throughout the mansion, you can talk to them and they'll save your progress. And when the room is lit up, you'll know that the place is clear and you are safe from all sorts of dangers. Except for this one that we're about to see very shortly. So, we're going to go ahead and pull the tarp off of here. And this will reveal a mirror, but we'll see what that's for later. First, let's go ahead and start vacuuming on this chandelier here, and you'll see a bunch of cash is going to fall off of it. Head down here and vacuum up all the money. There's going to be various types of money found throughout the game. Coins, cash, gold bars. You'll want to collect as much of that as you can because it all comes into play at the end of the game. Also, when it looks up at that chandelier, quickly get out of the way, otherwise you're going to get hit by it. This is the only time in the game that you can be attacked and take damage in a lit room. I suppose it's supposed to invoke some sense of no time is ever safe, no place is safe, or something to that effect, but really that's the only time. By and large, you are safe if you are in a lit room. But anyway, now that we're done in here, let's go back into this room where we first met the professor. Now, usually it's a good idea to go around and check around for treasure before you go solving the puzzle of the room, because some treasure can only be collected while the lights are off, but I'm pretty sure all the treasure that's in here can be collected without it, so we're not going to worry about that. These purple candles up here, we need to use our vacuum to put them out, because purple fire's weird. Who put out my candles? You, Mr. Lime Green? Well, dark rooms are dangerous around here, yes. They love the dark, and now they will get you, blah blah. Now you're in for it, glug, huh? Just like little Red Cap before you. May you wander lost in the darkness forever. Are you afraid of the dark, little man? Are you, huh? Blah! Here they are now. And so we have our first ghost, the Gold Ghost. The most basic type of ghost in the game. I was trying to get out of the way of that so it wouldn't hit me, but I got cornered, so that didn't really work out. But yeah, they've always got 10 health. They'll try and punch you. They do a little bit of damage, but they're overall not too threatening. They're the most common ghosts that you'll find in the mansion. But anyway, you just walk around and wait for them to appear, and then you just flash your light at them. And then it's vacuuming time. Catch all three of them, and then the lights will come on in this room. Now we can start looking around without worrying about being attacked. Unfortunately, there was money inside this china cabinet here, but I had to check that while the lights were out. Otherwise, I would have missed out on all that money, and that's exactly what happened. Woe is me. But, for getting all the ghosts, we now have a key and can advance to the next room. Which is right here. And that's another thing I might want to point out, is that the Game Boy Horror is the other thing that EGAD gave to us, and there's a number of functions we could use. We, of course, could pull up a map and see all the rooms in the mansion. We can also use it as a search function, and then you can examine the different items inside the mansion. Oh, what's this? Just how I like it. Nice and clean. Yeah, Luigi will provide some commentary on all the things that you examine. Not everything, of course. So is there anything in here? Okay, yeah, we got a little bit of cash at least. There we go. Alright, let's move on. So we use the key in this door here. Luigi will go through this animation every time. I just wanted to show that one more time because it's a pretty nice animation. I think we're going to skip it from here on out, though. So we get sealed inside this room, meaning that we need to find all the ghosts before we can leave. Here's another gold ghost. Second verse, same as the first. But we're not just going to encounter that. This is a purple puncher. It has twice as much health, and it hits you a little harder. Still not too hard to deal with. That one dropped a poison mushroom. You want to avoid touching that, otherwise it's going to make Luigi shrink down to half his size, and then he'll be unable to use his flashlight and poltergust for a short time. Otherwise, they're not too much of a problem. We'll start having more varieties of ghosts as we move forward. And that's another thing that you want to watch out for, is that when a ghost first appears, Luigi will be frozen in place for a second, and that could leave you open to attack. That will become more of a problem later in the game. Not so much here, but it's something to keep in mind. So now that the ghosts are gone, let's check around.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing in there. And a gold bar here. Excellent. So, into the next room we go. This room's going to get a little busy as well. So this is the wardrobe. We're going to find more gold ghosts. Another gold ghost. And there's a new one. This is the garbage can ghost. They don't attack you directly. Instead, they will drop some bananas on the ground, banana skins, that you can trip on them if Luigi walks on them. They have 40 health as well. When you're trying to suck them in, they'll start throwing banana peels all over the place. So yeah, this guy's trying to give me the slip. So try not to get dragged into them, and then vacuum them up after you catch the ghost, or after it breaks your vacuum. I try to get the other ghosts out of the way first, and then concentrate on the garbage can ghost separately. Oh, there he is. But yeah, when it comes to looking for ghosts, you want to keep the flashlight off so that you can surprise them with the flashlight by turning it on as soon as you're right in front of them. Again, wait until you're right close to them before you go activating it. Now, if we go in here, we'll find ourselves a sprint spirit. Hit this one quickly. You only get one chance to catch this thing, and if you do, it drops a ton of cash. These ones are not required to turn on the lights. It's pretty much just for getting extra money. But again, you only get one chance at them, so make sure they don't get away. Checking in here, we've got more money. Someone sure is stashing away a lot of cash. A little more health. Well, we can use a little top off there. And inside here, another gold ghost. But he's right in front of our light, so sucking him in is no problem. And the lights are on in another room. Looks like not much else to get here, so we'll just get the key down from there. And this key will open up that door in the foyer. So once we're done in this next room, we'll head back in that direction. And as we head out to the balcony, we'll find another toad. Seriously, why are they such crybabies in this game? Huh? Luigi? Yes, Luigi! How lucky that you found me! I feel so much better now. Here, let me turn on the light for you. Please, please, please! Save Mario! I looked everywhere! I can't find him! Where is he?
Yes.
Alright, well...
Oh, yeah.
And, like with the other Toad, you can talk to this one to save your progress if you wish, even though it's not that much farther into the mansion. And kind of out of the way, really. There's not much reason to come to this part of the mansion later in the game, so... I mean, he's there. Anyway, heading back in this direction. We can now use the key on this door. But before we can, we get interrupted by an awesome ringtone. I really like how it sounds. But this is what you hear when Egad is trying to communicate with you through the Game Boy Horror. Hold up a sec, Luigi. It's me, Professor Egad. I detect spirits stronger than we've yet seen lurking ahead. I think it must be some of those escaped gallery ghosts. You should know that they're really different from the other ghosts you've seen so far. They don't show their hearts very easily. Nope, not at all. When you find one, you should first use the X button to search its heart for clues. Sometimes you can learn the best way to surprise them. Well, Luigi, I'll keep my fingers crossed for you. Alright, thank you for that little insightful information there. Anyway, we use the key here and we find ourselves a trail of coins, leading us to a door. Let me just get that rat out of the way. But, looking at this door and then comparing it to the Game Boy Horror map, we see that there's actually no door in front of us. That's because this door is a trick. So if you tried to open this door, it would fly in your face and then you would get smashed against the wall for 10 damage. Another easy way you could tell is when you use your vacuum on a door and it doesn't shake. Real doors, when you use your vacuum on it, do shake. So that's a quick way that you can determine whether a door is fake or not. Heading on in here, into the study, is where we will find our first portrait ghost. You can see them all the time using your Game Boy Horror. Well, hello, surprise rat. Oh, never mind, it was a book. Well, that was kind of rude. Getting back to what I was saying, here's the ghost. You used your Game Boy Horror on it? Ho 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 ho! Go ahead, try to find me. I can see you, but you cannot see me. Ho 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 ho! So basically what you need to do here is look away from him long enough until he decides to show his heart. But we're not ready to do that just yet. Instead, we're going to use our Game Boy Horror to examine this piece of cheese here. More detail on that in a minute, but it drops a gold ghost. We need to quickly, or a gold mouse, and we need to quickly vacuum it up. Oops, looks like it got away. Let's see if we can make it appear again. Nope. Okay. Well, if we were a little quicker, we would have been able to vacuum that up for some extra cash, but alas. Anyway, we'll just check the chair here then, and that will make another speedy spirit appear. We'll vacuum that up real quick, and it will drop more money for us, including a precious stone, as you can see up here. We have a ruby. These are worth quite a bit of money, so they're definitely worth getting a hold of. Anyway, let's go ahead and pick up the rest of this stuff thing. If I was able to vacuum up that gold mouse, it would have dropped a bunch of cash as well, but it slipped between my fingers, so I'll get what I can, but honestly, I don't know where all the treasure is in the game, so there's only so much I can do. Okay, so now let's deal with the portrait ghost over here. We'll wait for him to show his heart. There it is. Then we flash it, and now we can start vacuuming him. Most portrait ghosts will have 100 health, and will occasionally drop pearls while you're vacuuming them. After a while, they'll also start dropping poison mushrooms. Definitely watch out for them. And if it goes on really long, they'll start dragging Luigi along, and that will start damaging him as well. But there we go. The longer you can keep vacuuming them, they'll also start dropping larger pearls. And then for catching that ghost, we get ourselves another key. So as you can see, that's going to open up the room all the way to the left of this hallway. Additionally, for catching a portrait ghost, if we check the Game Boy Horror and our items and ghost, we can see the information about the ghosts that we just caught. The bookish father, Neville, 42 years old. Neville spends his afterlife reading all the books he missed while living. Well, and there will be a little description of that for each ghost that we catch throughout the game. We can also check each of these bookshelves, and there will be a book on each one to read, such as this Book of Riddles. Mysteries appear wherever people turn, but turning away from them solves nothing. Instead of turning away, turn to the side and look at the mystery from a different view. A way will surely open. That's hinting at something that we'll probably need to do later. You found Neville's big baby care diary. My third son is still a baby. Oddly enough, he seems to scare people in ways the other two never did. The twins now. They're afraid of fire, water, cold, and wind. Why, they shake with fright when beset by the elements. Sometimes I think they're more childlike than the baby. So yeah, kinda hinting at some ghosts that we're going to encounter later. There's a book called The Darkness is Their Cheese. This is a hint at what we were just trying to do earlier. Ghost mice are drawn to darkness as real mice are drawn to cheese. In the dark, they shine gold with contentment. I must try to get close to one before the lights come back on. See Parmesan. Love that name, by the way. But, yeah, that was hinting at the fact that we needed to check that cheese before we turned the lights on because the gold mouse would not have appeared then. Unfortunately, I was too slow to catch it. And now the Book of Parasols, I think is what that says. There are spirits known as elemental ghosts. They live in the elements of fire, water, and ice that make up much of our world. To handle these elements, one must first obtain an element metal. Perhaps the elemental ghosts are only visible to the bearer of such a metal. Again, alluding to another power-up that we'll be able to get later in the game. You found Egad's Guide to Ghosts. How curious that Egad has a book inside this mansion that just appeared a few days ago. Dear readers, we've all had trouble with ghosts who aren't easily surprised, right? They have all sorts of ways to protect themselves from light. What would you do, bright folks, when in a fix with one of these stubborn ghouls? Well, sir, I'd first look for an opening, a way to catch them off guard and unsettle them. When a ghost is surprised and shows you its heart, that's your chance to catch the little bugger. I tell you, I've caught dozens of ghosts just like this. Yeah, we pretty well caught on to that in the previous part and with this portrait ghost that we just caught. And now, Lydia's childcare diary. The twins are very shy for ghosts their age. They've even gone and hid the key to their room far away in the mansion. How very trying. They got mad at me the other day for twirling their little toy helicopter mobile. Ghost children today. Who knows what they're thinking? And, yeah, that's hinting at how we need to get the attention of the twins when we get to that part of the game. But anyway, I think that's about all we can do in this room, so let's move on. It's a good idea to keep your vacuum active as you walk across this hallway in case you walk into a ghost accidentally, a ghost mouse. Anyway, we use the key here, and now we're in the master bedroom. Inside we will find this lady ghost here who's brushing her hair. Doesn't even seem to notice that we're here. Isn't my hair just gorgeous? Of course, I do spend a lot of time on it. I was so bored cooped up in that painting. Now I spend all my time in front of the mirror. It seems to scare people, though, so everything is coming up roses. We'll see about that in just a moment. Anyway, before we start vacuuming her up, let's go ahead and collect the cash. You might be able to see it on top of this chandelier here, but basically hold your vacuum on it long enough and that cash will fall right off. I believe there's, yes, another gold bar right in here. And there should be some cash inside. Nope, okay. Now, as for getting this ghost's attention, we want to use our vacuum to open the curtain and let a draft in. That will make its heart appear, and then you can start vacuuming it. These first few portrait ghosts aren't too hard to catch because there's plenty of room to maneuver. Still, watch out for the occasional poison mushroom that appears. And try not to take too long vacuuming them up so that you don't wind up taking damage at the same time. But yeah, first couple of ghosts, not too hard to deal with. And we got a couple of big pearls out of them, so that's nice. I also like how we can see Toad on the balcony from here. Very nice. Anyway, we get ourselves another key. And that's going to open the way to the room directly across from here. And that's going to be kind of an important one, as you'll see momentarily.
Oh, yeah.
So, let's go check it out. Well, there's definitely some dramatic build-up to this room. I wonder what's inside. Heading on inside, you can go into this closet right here, and a large heart that will restore 50 health will be inside. Very nifty if you've been taking hefty damage up to this point. Anyway, this little rocking horse here is surrounded by coins, cluing you in as to what you should be focusing on for this challenge. There's the baby, by the way. We'll go ahead and use the Game Boy Horror on it. Horsey! Rocky! Horsey! So, yeah, that's a pretty clear hint as to what you need to do. Make the horse rock.
Hey, wanna play with me?
And of course, by play, he means follow you around and try and hit you in the head. And while he does so, these teddy bears are going to fly off the shelf towards you. I'd like to try and get those things vacuumed up and out of the way so that we can focus on the baby. They're pretty easy to deal with. They come at you slow enough, and once you vacuum them up, they don't reappear on the shelf, but if you don't vacuum them, they will reappear on the shelf. Anyway, once those are out of the way, go ahead and vacuum up this ball, and then launch it into the baby, because that's what a responsible adult would do.
Ow! You gave me an owie! I just wanted to play with you. I hate grown-ups! Why do you have to be bigger than me? I've had enough. Small, now grow smaller! Interesting concept. Small, itsy, tiny, little, wee, gaga goo goo ga!
And now we're inside the crib. The evil crib! Looks like Luigi just became the toy. I'll admit, this is a pretty ominous scene here. But thankfully, the boss that we're about to encounter isn't all that tough. It is the first one, after all. So anyway, after this cutscene ends, now we're in control. For this first part, all we need to do is avoid its attacks, starting with these rocking horses that will dart forward once they're aligned with Luigi. Just keep moving to the left or right, and you can avoid those pretty easily. But here comes the harder attack, the balls that come bouncing across. Just pay attention to where the shadows are, and you should be able to avoid those without too much issue. But even if they do hit you, they don't do that much damage, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. Once you launch the single ball into Chauncey, that's your chance to vacuum it up for some extra damage. However, they do time this out in such a way that you'll probably have to do this for 2 or 3 cycles, so once you're done vacuuming, it's going to start bouncing around in the crib. Just follow behind it so that you don't get crushed by it. That does some pretty good damage, but again, it's pretty easy to avoid. And at this point, the attack pattern is going to repeat. So, back to dodging the rocking horses. And now it's time for some more dodgeball. It can be kind of hard to read where they're going to go because of the way the shadows work. Case in point. Launch another ball into the baby, and it's vacuum time. Try not to let it drag you around too much. Okay, well, we almost got it. So we're going to have one more cycle to go through, and it's going to be the hardest one yet. First, it's going to start jumping around the crib again. Things will change up just a little bit. So now it's going to start sending rocking horses at you again, but now they're going to dart towards you faster. And sometimes they'll start appearing in twos. And sometimes they will lead themselves. They'll lead to where you're moving as well, so you'll want to watch out for that. But again, first boss, you're not going to get too much damage. You're not going to get damaged too much during this. It's got a few tricky bits, but overall, perfectly manageable. I mean, I got hit 4 times there, and I'm only down to 88 health. And we've caught the baby and turned the lights on in this room. We forgot to check the ghost data of the last one, so we'll check them both now. First, we caught the mirror-gazing mother, Lydia, 34 years old. She stashed her secret savings away to prepare for her long afterlife. I mean, what does a ghost need money for anyway? And the spoiled baby, Chauncey, 1 year old. He cries loudly and never sleeps through the night, but since he was born a ghost, this seems natural. I see. Anyway, we'll go ahead and collect what cash is left here.
Oh, yeah.
Anything in the crib? No? How about on the shelf? You'll want to check everywhere. Leave no space unchecked. And then the hearts come back as well.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so now we'll open up the big chest and get ourselves a big pink key. Fitting for a princess. And it looks like Egad's going to contact us again.
Luigi! Luigi, can you hear me?
Oh, thank goodness you're okay. I lost contact with you all of a sudden. I was a tad worried. Just a tad. You seem a bit tuckered out after that long battle, don't you? Why don't you come back to the lab? When you vacuum a boss ghost, your Poltergust 3000 gets pretty much full to bursting. But, oh, I guess you showed that boss ghost who's boss. Hey, leave the puns to me, eh? Good job, Luigi. You made it back in one piece. Yes, we're back in the lab. Take a gander at this. This fine piece of work took nearly 20 years to develop. I call it the Ghost Portrificationizer. Boy, is that a mouthful. This machine lets us turn the ghosts you catch into paintings. Not only that, it works in reverse, too. But we'll see that in action at the end. How do we use it, you ask? Well, it's simple. Just plug that Poltergust 3000 into that slot and enjoy the ride, my boy. Well, we'll enjoy the ride, but I think the ghosts are going to feel a little differently about it. Once you see the process of ghosts being portraitified. I mean, that looks like a pretty violently washing machine after being thoroughly washed. And then steam pressed, electrocuted, and then crammed into a painting portrait. Yeah, that's a thing. Ghosts don't feel pain, right? Well, we managed to turn those ghosts back into paintings. Thanks for your help, Luigi. And so with that, we have now cleared Area 1. And we've caught Neville, Lydia, and Chauncey. You've caught a total of 3 ghosts. And now it's going to start counting down all the money that we collected as well. As you can see, those gold bars are worth quite a bit, as well as the ruby. There will be other precious stones to collect as well, and oh yes, the pearls, those are always good. So in total, so far we've collected 7,185,000 gold. And that might sound like a lot, but there's actually quite a bit more to be collected in the game. Just as well, even though this part went by pretty quickly, there's only 3 more after this, we've only really scratched a part of the mansion. We've seen like half of the 2nd floor. There's still 4 other floors for us to check out, so there's still plenty of mansion left to see. So don't worry about this game going by too quickly. Anyway, we'll go ahead and save our progress here. And that's where we're going to go ahead and call it for now. So we have ourselves a foothold inside the mansion. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.